And I'm live. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me. So, I'm going to be doing a live sesh in my bedroom because there's no other space. So, I hope I can pull this off the entire time because I'm just using a makeshift table. Obviously, I'm using a pillow for my laptop. So, anyway, welcome back to my channel. And I hope you guys pick up the notification now so that I wouldn't be holding this for so long. Okay, so our topic for tonight is Empowerment Wednesdays, and we are going to be talking about how to deal with insecurities. And so I will be waiting for you guys to pick up the notification, and then we will be starting in a bit. All right. And I'm also having a hard time with my internet connection, so just in case I got disconnected, you let me know. Or you should be waiting for me, guys. So, yeah, let's do this. This is really awkward because I have my stuffies at the back. Okay, so let's get crazy on a Wednesday night. Okay, so I'm not sure if you've already picked up the notification or if I'm even online. I'm really wondering. So I really need um, a validation that people can actually see me. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Okay, so I think I'm having an internet issue because I can even see my own live session on my own page. Okay, so hopefully it works. It works. Let's try. All right, so I'm live. Okay, so I've seen my own notification and figured out that I'm actually on live broadcast. Okay, so we will be starting this conversation, and yeah, hopefully you will be able to pick up the notification soon enough. Okay, let me share my screen. Oh, before I share my screen, I'd like to introduce myself once again. I'm Irene. I'm a real estate broker in the Philippines. I'm also a motivational speaker, and I'm also a writer. So that's a very quick introduction about me. You can read more about me, or you can also like get to know me more through this live sesh every single night at 8 p.m. You can get to know more about me. You can talk to me. You can actually post your comments there. We can have a conversation. You can also send me an email just in case you want to send an email, or you can also send me a message through my inbox. Definitely, I will do my best to talk to you. Um, Sometimes there are delayed replies, obviously, but I will do my best to reply to each of the messages that you're sending. I really appreciate all your messages. And of course, earlier on, I also appreciate the ones who checked on me. Thank you so much. I'm doing well, actually. I'm just doing a series of laboratory tests, but nevertheless, I am good. I'm all good. All right. So nothing to worry about. So tonight, again, the conversation is all about how to deal with insecurities. And usually on a Wednesday, it's Women Empowerment Wednesdays. But tonight, we are just going to be labeling it as Empowerment Wednesday so that it's going to be inclusive. It's not only for women, it's also for men, it's also for LGBTQ or for everybody who wants to listen to it and just get some insights, and hopefully it will also be able to help you improve yourself. Okay, so let me share my screen. And again, please feel free to post your comments on the comment box below so that I will know who's watching, because it's kind of challenging at this point. I am having a hard time with my internet. I can barely see who's online and if there is anybody online actually. So yeah, let's start this conversation by, well, let me share my screen first. Okay, so how do we really deal with insecurities? And of course, before we start the conversation about how to deal with insecurities, we have to first define what insecurity is all about. Okay, so let's define insecurity based from webmd.com. According to the website, it's a feeling of inadequacy or of feeling not good enough. So that's insecurity. When we feel like we are not enough, that's the meaning of insecurity. And of course, we feel this in several ways. Like we feel like we're not good enough in relationships, we feel like we're not good enough in our work, or we feel like we are not good enough in our business. And it's a pretty common thing. Like I have never met anyone who has not encountered any insecurity at all in his or her life. So it's a pretty common thing. But some people actually dwell on it. So that's the reason why we are going to be talking about it, so that we will be calling ourselves out, making sure that we are aware about what we're doing with ourselves, and also what we can do so that we can address all these insecurities. Okay, so all right, yay. People finally found out that I'm live. Hi there, good evening. Hello. Hello, Sir Taya. Good evening po. Aba, sir, yay! Nakita ulit kita, sir. Parang hinahanap pa lang po kita nung mga nakaraang shows. So, good evening po sa inyo. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, so again, our topic for tonight is Empowerment Wednesdays, and we are going to be talking about how to deal with insecurities. Now, we are also going to be talking about the causes of insecurity. And one of the good things about talking about something is really finding out what causes it. Like if we feel that if we have a headache, the first thing that we actually ask ourselves is what's the cause of our headache, right? And it's also like that with anything. When we are feeling something, we should also ask ourselves what's causing it, so that we will be able to address it. You cannot address something that you do not know. So the easiest way to deal with insecurity is to first ask yourself, what are the causes of your insecurities, right? So we'll start with a negative childhood experience. So if you've had negative childhood experiences in your life, you will obviously have insecurities. And also that includes lack of support from your family, especially emotional support. If you didn't grow up in a family where people are supporting each other, and this is something that's cultural, and this is something that we are happy about, because in the Philippines, the Filipino culture is so inclusive. Like everyone's, even your neighbors are considered your family, right? So this is really what's nice about our culture. But obviously, there are families which do not feel the same way. Like there are families which do not really have emotional support for each of the members. So this can definitely lead to insecurity at one point in a person's life. Another cause is negative influences. Of course, if you have friends who do not also friends or acquaintances or your social circle, if they don't give you positive influences, they can also cause insecurity. Okay, and next would be unrealistic expectations. Okay, as we grow older, we actually have expectations. Even when we were kids, diba? When we were kids, we also had expectations. But when we grow older, the expectations that we are setting sometimes are really unrealistic, and so it leads to not being able to deliver those expectations, and it has an impact on our self-esteem, and so it also causes insecurity. So make sure that when you are setting expectations for yourself, they're also something realistic and something that you can definitely achieve, whether in the short term or in the long term. Okay, whether in the short term or in the long run. Did I make sense? I think I did, right? Okay, another cause of insecurity is comparison. Um, there's a saying that goes, the grass is always greener at the next door ba yun? I'm not sure. I think I forgot the saying. But anyway, we always compare what we have with with what other people have, and that becomes a cause of insecurity, because even though we already have like whatever we want to achieve, and then we see other people achieving more than we have achieved, and then we start comparing, and then that's where insecurity comes. For example, when you were in school, you were already okay with, for example, you've had a 90% on your score. You're so happy about it. But when you see another classmate of yours who's not as um who's not performing like you do, sometimes medyo tamad-tamad pa siya, sometimes hindi pa siya nag-aaral, and then you suddenly see his or her score, let's say his or her score is like 92 or 93, like 1 or 2 points higher than yours, then you start comparing. Bakit siya? Hindi naman siya nag-aaral. Ako, nag-aaral ako. Dami kong effort, ganyan-ganyan. Then we start comparing, and that's time we actually feel insecure about ourselves when we start comparing. Kasi pag wala ka namang point of comparison, you don't really feel insecure. Like, okay ka naman sa buhay mo, bakit ka magiging insecure kung wala kang tinitingnan na sa tingin mo better than what you have? Okay, so those are the causes of insecurity. And of course, there are several other causes of insecurity, but these are some of them. These are some of the most common causes of insecurity. Okay, I know I'm speaking too fast, so just in case, because I can see anything except my slide. So I'm just like switching back and forth to StreamYard and to my deck. So just in case you have questions, please do not hesitate to post them on the comment box. I will be checking your messages each after some of the slides. Okay. So again, join the conversation. This conversation is for us, and yeah. Ubos yung sasabihin ko. Yeah, so this conversation is for us, and that's one of the advantages of having a live stream, right? You know, you are able to talk to the person who's talking live. Does that make sense? Okay, so how do we really deal with insecurities? Okay, I feel like I feel kind of uncomfortable. Hey, Sir Joseph, good evening. Thank you for watching. I know that it's kind of weird that I have penguins, but if I remove them, like I don't have anything to lean on. So sorry for the penguins. So just say hi to them. This is Success and this is Kikoy. Tama ba? This is Success. Oh, it's blue. Sorry. This is Kikoy. This is Success. So say hi to them. Those are my favorite pets. Okay, so yeah, how do we deal with insecurities? Well, the first one is, well, I mentioned about comparing. So the first one is we really have to stop comparing. Okay, stop comparing yourself with other people because it's gonna do you more harm than good. So if you have your own goals, stay focused on them. Do not compare yourself with the rest of the world because that's gonna cause not only insecurity but also anxiety, right? And you're also gonna lose your self-esteem before you even know it. So stop comparing. And then, oh, this is really quick, right? And of course, another step in dealing with insecurities is to encourage yourself. Okay, so I'll just stop this so that I can see so that I can see your faces. So I'll stop this first. Okay. So that I can see my face actually and I can see your comments. So when we say encourage ourselves, it's really challenging. It's easier said than done. I'm pretty sure about that because I know that. I've been there. I've done that. It's really challenging to encourage yourself on a daily basis. Like encouraging yourself is just like a constant decision of taking a bath, right? You literally have to make a decision that you will encourage yourself on that particular day, especially when the going gets rough, when the going gets tough. Okay, so you really have to make sure to encourage yourself. I mean, don't rely on other people to encourage you. I mean, that's the reason why we have this, diba? Kaya meron tayong 8 p.m. habit so that if you need encouragement, you can go to this page. But what if I ran out of videos? So how do you really encourage yourself? Well, it really begins with you. You have to encourage yourself. You have to tell yourself positive things so that you will be able to pull yourself out of that tunnel that you have also created. Most of the time, the tunnel, di ba sabi na natin, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. But you know what? Most of the time, that tunnel, we are actually the ones who created it. So you can break it. You can break away from it. You can really, really improve yourself if you constantly focus on yourself and constantly encourage yourself. And again, it's really up to you. Everything begins with you. So you really have to focus on yourself, on how you can make yourself better instead of comparing yourself with everybody else. Okay, so that's encourage yourself. Another step is to constantly check on your thoughts. Okay, so when we talk about constantly checking on your thoughts, okay, so there are different kinds of thoughts. There are positive thoughts, negative thoughts, wholesome thoughts, vulgar thoughts, like so many thoughts. I think we are processing 60,000 thoughts per day, if I remember the numbers correctly. I've read it somewhere that every person every person processes 60,000 thoughts per day. So, ibig sabihin, sobrang dami pala talaga nating thoughts on a daily basis. So, we really have to check constantly on our thoughts. Is that a good thought? Is that a bad thought? Is that something that helps me? Is that something that destroys me? So, constantly check on your thoughts. And it's easy to catch yourself thinking. Kasi lagi naman natin kausap sarili natin. I mean, there are people who would say, paano mo nasabing kinakausap ko yung sarili ko? Hindi ko kaya kinakausap yung sarili ko. You know, when you're deciding about something, you always talk to yourself. Anong kakainin ko today? Maliligo ba ako today? Saan ba lang lakad ko today? When you're asking yourself questions, you are actually talking to yourself. So you have thoughts, and you are also the ones who processes your thoughts. Somebody else will process your thoughts for you. So you really have to constantly check on your thoughts, whether those thoughts are helping you out or those thoughts are actually bothering you. Again, check your thoughts. At this very moment while you're watching, what are your thoughts? Can you relate to this? Or do you have better ideas than the ones that I'm saying? Diba? You can definitely post them here. This is a safe space. You can share your sentiments. You can share your opinions. We will not judge. We have an open conversation. You can share your thoughts here. Okay, so constantly check on your thoughts. And whenever you feel like your thoughts are more destructive than helpful, then you have to recognize that. Call yourself out. You tell yourself na, oh, that's not a good thing to think about. That's not something that will help you out. Dapat sabihan mo yung sarili mo kasi you're the only person who can check on your thoughts every now and then. Okay? So, oh, thank you, Sir Joseph. Focus on your strengths as a person to boost your self-confidence. That's so true. That's so true. You should always focus on your strengths. Okay, so let me move on to the next. Okay, another tip in handling or dealing with insecurities is really understand that each person is unique. Okay, so hi ma'am, good evening po. Thank you so much, ma'am Likudan. Thank you for watching. Okay. So understand that each person is unique. And di ba yung pinakaunang tip is stop comparing? So dito naman, we should understand that each person is unique. Okay, I learned this from my students who were when I was teaching in the National Forensic Science Training Institute. So that's NFSTI. Found out from my students that our yeah, of course, our fingerprints are unique, right? That's why we have our thumb marks. So that's unique. And another thing that's unique about us is our iris. Is that correct? Please correct me if I'm mistaken. So there are several parts of our body that are really unique. But just in case you forget that we are all unique, just remember your thumb mark. Okay, so that part of your body reminds you that each person is unique. So therefore, even twins, right? Even twins, triplets, or whatever, even if they're multiple births, they don't really have the same characteristics. They have similarities, but they're not 100% the same person. right? So each person is unique. And when you understand that each person is unique, you also understand that you are unique and that you have different talents, you also have different skills. You don't have to compare yourself with other people. Like if you can't sing, maybe you can dance. If you can dance, maybe you can write. If you can't write, maybe you can cook. Diba? Every person is unique. So if also you want to like improve yourself, pag-aralan mo. If you feel like gusto mo ring matuto kung ano yung natutunan ng mga kasama mo, edi, diba? Just learn about it. I mean, there are so many ways on how to learn about something. Lalo na ngayon, may YouTube, may internet, may Google. Nung panahon ko, wala namang ganyan eh. You just literally have to learn on your own, ask people, find a mentor. But now we even have virtual mentors, right? We even have people we don't know as mentors, like virtual mentors. You can have them on YouTube. You can watch TED Talks. There's a lot of resources now. So if you really want to improve yourself, you must understand that you are unique and that you can constantly work on your own and work on yourself so that you will be able to improve yourself and eventually become a better person without even comparing yourself with anybody else. Just compare yourself with your previous improvements or with your previous status. Don't compare yourself with anybody else because each person, again, is unique. And yes, that's true. Surround yourself with positive people. Those people who will bring out the best in you. That's so true. And we've mentioned that, right? One of the causes of insecurities is when you have negative influences around you. And I've read this somewhere. I forgot which book. Okay, how addicted I am to reading books. But I've read it somewhere. Sabi doon, you are an average of the 5 people that you're constantly with. So, bilang kayo ng 5 tao na lagi ninyong kasama, yung average nun, ikaw yun. Okay? So, kung mabubuti sila or mababait sila, maayos silang mga tao, then kagaya ka rin nila. Kaya nga, di ba sabi, birds of the same feather flock together. Somehow, there's science to that because we always assimilate the ones that we are constantly with. Di ba nahahawaan tayo kapag lagi nating kasama, nahahawaan tayo ng mga taong lagi nating kasama. Like, ang dami kong influences from my friends. Well, because I grew up with them. For example, my high school friends, my college friends, I grew up with them. So, ang dami kong mga na-assimilate sa kanila ng mga influences. Like being a book reader or being a book lover or being a bookworm, I got it from my high school friends. So, hanggang ngayon, dala-dala ko siya even though it's already been more than 2 decades since we parted ways. Yung influence sila sa akin nandito pa rin. So this is what we're saying, that we should definitely surround ourselves with positive people. That's so true. So that we also become positive. Okay? Not COVID positive, ha? Positive in life, positive outlook, positive thoughts, positive ideas. Okay. Hello po, Sir Aquino. Good evening po. Thank you so much everyone for watching. At hindi pa naman po tapos. Nagpasalamat lang ako kasi hindi ko sure kung hanggang saan naabot yung signal ko because I have intermittent connection at this point in time. Okay. So next step is to reassure yourself that nobody's perfect. Okay. This is a constant struggle, especially for overachievers. Okay. When you're used to achieving things, and when you're used to getting your way around things, you tend to have, again, expectations about yourself. So what happens is that you feel that you're almost perfect. So ang nangyayari, if you can't get whatever you're expecting, or when you can't do whatever you want to do, you feel like you failed, and you feel like bumaba yung self-confidence mo. So it's really telling yourself that even though you commit mistakes sometimes, especially if it's not deliberate, yung hindi mo sinadya na nagkamali ka, please reassure yourself that nobody's perfect. Nobody ever will be perfect. Tao lang tayo, nagkakamali tayo. We have our own flaws. So really, you have to reassure yourself that you're okay. I mean, you cannot be perfect. You cannot possibly have everything all at the same time. So please remember that you don't have to be insecure about the things that you lack, because there's nobody who's perfect. All right? So please remember that nobody's perfect. Okay. Oh, this is nice. Always pray, talk to God minsan. Normal lang ma-down, pero after talking to God, everything will be okay. Legit to. That's so true. That's so true. I totally agree with that. Okay. And of course, last but not the least, okay, ito na talaga yung pinaka importante sa lahat ng sinabi ko when dealing with insecurities. Embrace all that you are. Okay, ito na naman tayo. Easier said than done. But of course, it's really important that we know ourselves. We know ourselves inside out. We know our strengths. We also know our weakness. And even though they are weaknesses, we shouldn't think like just because we have these weaknesses doesn't mean that we are less of a person. Kasi lahat naman tayo merong weaknesses. So kahit na okay, hindi naman talaga tayo perfect, that's true. May mga pagkakamali tayo minsan, that's also true. And even though nagkakamali tayo minsan, it doesn't mean na bumaba yung value natin as a human being or bumaba yung value natin bilang tao. Okay? It doesn't mean that we are imperfect, and it doesn't mean that we have flaws. We become less of a person. Well, that's just actually it. We are just humans, and we're bound to err. We're bound to have mistakes. We are bound to have flaws. Pero just embrace yourself. Ikaw, alam mo yun, ito nga naalala ko lagi sinasabi ng mom ko. You will only have one body in this entire lifetime. You will only have one life in this lifetime. So make sure that you love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, nobody else will. Lahat talaga yung feelings magsisimula talaga sa sarili natin. We cannot expect other people to love us without first loving ourselves. So we have to embrace all that we are. And embracing all that we are means that we are embracing every single part of our body. We are embracing every single part of our feelings, our emotions, our thoughts. And then, of course, even though we embrace ourselves, di ba, kung gusto nating mag-improve, edi improve natin yung sarili natin. Wala namang limitations yun eh. You can definitely improve yourself. You have the power to improve yourself. Pero don't be too hard on yourself either. So kung hindi ka agad-agad nag-improve, okay lang din. Don't be too hard on yourself. Okay? Again, nobody's perfect. We will have our flaws, but that doesn't mean that it makes us less of a person. Yes, that's true, Sir Tayag. You only live once. So when we say that you only live once, enjoy mo yung buhay mo. Wag yung parang lagi ka na lang uptight sa sarili mo, parang lagi kang galit sa sarili mo. You know what? You have to love yourself so that you can enjoy your life. You will never enjoy life if you hate yourself. So begin with embracing all that you are. That's the start of beautiful, amazing, wonderful, brilliant things in life. You really start with yourself. And of course, before I finally end ang bilis ko pala ngayon. Mabilis ko ba nagsalita? Okay, na-excite ako magsalita kasi baka mag-cramps yung legs ko. Nakapatong lang yung laptop on my legs. So, I'm not sure how long I can hold it. But I hope that you were able to, learn some of the things that I have in my thoughts. Actually, ang nag-trigger lang sa akin ito kanina. I took a selfie and I used a filter. And I'm like, sino to? Natawa talaga ako. I'll be posting that picture later on my page, and you will realize that it doesn't look like me. It looks like a different person. So sabi ko, sakto. I should be talking about insecurities, because when I was younger, of course, marami akong kasing edaran, ganyan. And then, I got used to comparing myself. I got used to comparing myself with everybody with the same age that I do. So, lumaki talaga akong parang feeling ko I'm an ugly duckling. Feeling ko hindi ako kasing talino ng lahat ng tao. Feeling ko wala akong talent. So, like, I grew up feeling that I wasn't enough, that I have to prove myself every single time. Like, I would join whatever. Like, I would join events, I would join sports. I joined every single thing that I can get my hands on. So, sobrang tinry kong i-overcome yung insecurities ko by joining this several activities para lang ma-prove ko na worthy ako. And then when I grew older, I realized that you don't really have to prove yourself to anyone. Really. If you are happy with yourself, you don't have to convince everybody else that you're happy with yourself. Kung masaya ka sa sarili mo ngayon, kung masaya ka sa buhay mo ngayon, hindi mo kailangang ipagsabi sa ibang tao na masaya ka. Kasi alam mo sa sarili mo masaya ka. You don't have to say that to anyone. You don't even have to like brag about it. Kasi sa'yo yun eh. Basta masaya ka. Like, I have an online life, you know that. Like, I'm so active on social media, but I also have little successes, little triumphs, or minsan nga major triumphs that I don't even post on social media because I'm just happy. Masaya na ako na alam ko na masaya ako. Does that make sense? So, nagets niyo, di ba? Parang, pag masaya ka, hindi mo naman kailangang ipagsigawan eh. Minsan, may mga kasiyahan na hindi mo na kailangang ikwento kahit kanino. Basta masaya ka lang. Like, I received several messages today that really made me smile. And I just said thanks to the people who sent them to me. Masayang-masaya ako, pero I don't really have to, I don't really have to post that I'm so happy. But sometimes I post na I'm happy, but I don't even post why. Basta masaya ako. So, ganon. So that's what we're saying, na we don't have to prove ourselves to anyone. We don't have to constantly prove ourselves to anyone. If at all we have to prove ourselves at work, obviously we have performance goals, we have performance targets, then syempre by all means you have to prove yourself. But, personally, you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. Basta masaya ka, basta sa tingin mo you are achieving your goals, basta sa tingin mo ito yung mga gusto mo mangyari sa buhay mo, you don't even have to explain to anyone. Okay? So hopefully you were able to gain some insights on that. And of course, let me just share this with you. So yan po talaga yung how to deal with insecurities. Actually, SECURE. So definitely you can take a picture if you wish. You can also share this video to inspire somebody else who you feel needs to hear it. Especially to the younger generation. So if you're from the younger generation, if you are below 21 years old, I'm also talking to you. Yes. Don't feel bad about yourself while you're young, kasi love really starts at a younger age. So magsimula kang mahalin yung sarili mo at a younger age. Don't feel as if you're not enough, because for some people, let me tell you this, you will never be enough for other people. Other people will always have comments about you. Other people will always have negative comments about you, and it's gonna hurt. Yes, that's true. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt pretty bad sometimes. But remember this, you don't have to base your personal value or your worth, your personal or your self-worth. You don't have to base your self-worth over somebody else's inability to appreciate that. Okay? So, wag mong susukatin yung value mo sa mata ng isang taong hindi nakikita yon. Please. Alright? Ano to? Ayan, parang sabi, nagmo-monologue ako dito. So, inabutan tuloy ako ng glass of wine. So, hopefully, you gained some insights on that. Okay? Do not measure yourself through the eyes of a person who don't see your worth. Okay? I've done that so many times in my life and it's not a happy place to be in. Lagi kong sinasabi na, pag na-appreciate ako na ganito, pag na-appreciate ako na ganyan, pag na-appreciate ako na ganyan, masaya na ako. But you know what? You will never be appreciated by everyone. It's so hard to please everyone. And if you always constantly please everyone, you'll end up disappointing yourself. So please stop pleasing everyone. Start appreciating yourself and the right person will appreciate you. So, tandaan nyo yan. Lalo na sa younger generations, please. Tulungan ninyo yung sarili ninyo. Always embrace who you are. Do not be consumed by this world. Okay, so yes, hopefully we're able to get that. Siyempre, how to deal with insecurities. Sasabihin ko sa inyo, you have to be secure. Ayan na yung meaning ng secure. And isi-share ko lang sa inyo to before I finally rest my case. And so that I can drink my drinks. Drink my drinks talaga. Okay, I'll share this with you. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this Latin statement. Baka matapan. Okay. So, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this Latin statement because if you're my friend on my personal Facebook page, you've probably seen this on my cover photo ba tawag? Cover photo, no? Yung nasa profile mo, tapos yung picture na mahaba doon. I think that's the cover photo. Okay, so, ang sabi dito, imperari sibi maximum imperium est. To rule yourself is the ultimate power. Every person in this world has power from within. Okay, ulitin natin. Every person in this world has power from within. So you better hone that power and make sure that you use it for your own advantage. Do not use that power to destroy yourself because we actually do. Every now and then, kinikriticize natin yung sarili natin. Every now and then, we throw shade at ourselves. Lagi nating nilalait yung sarili natin. Lagi tayong nadidisappoint sa mga ginagawa natin. Well, you have that power to build yourself. And unfortunately, you also have the power to destroy yourself. So now, I'm gonna give you this question. How do you use your power? Do you build yourself through that power, or do you use that power to destroy yourself? The choice is yours, and it will always be yours. So please choose wisely. Okay, so that will be all from me. Hopefully you were able to, again, gain some insights from my talk for tonight. And I hope that this session has also empowered you, has also made you think, has made you feel, has made you feel inspired, or has made you check on yourself, check on your thoughts, kasi importante yun para sa atin. So again, the question is, how do you use your power? Do you use that power to build yourself, or do you use that power to destroy yourself? Again, the choice is always yours, and it'll always be. May God bless you, everyone. Use your powers wisely. Thank you so much, everyone, for for tuning in tonight. Ma'am Rowena, thank you so much for joining. Yes, vote wisely para tuloy akong nangampanya tonight. So, vote wisely, choose wisely. Nasa sa inyo ang kapangyarihan. So, choose wisely. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay healthy. Choose your powers. Choose your decisions wisely. Use your powers wisely. And until we see each other again, it's tomorrow again at 8 p.m. And also, I'd like to, before I leave, I'd also like to invite people who would like to share the stage with me. Although right now, I'm not on stage, obviously, with this setup. Okay, but would like to share their insights on any of the themes of our shows, of our 8 p.m. shows. Please let me know. You can get in touch with me through my inbox, or through my personal page, or through my email. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Bye.